squatting Slav TV.
This is how the Italian migrant crisis looks on a daily basis.
Different motivations, different causes for this crisis, but crisis it is. The second boat that arrived that day.
This is how a Syrian refugee looks fleeing the war from Syria.
ما بيقدر يلعب ابني، ما فيني أمن عليه أخذه على مكان يلعب فيه بالجيم لأنه صغير.
And this is how one of Merkel's very tanned Syrian refugees coming to Europe to reap it for its social benefits looks.
You can shoot people like that. People dying every day. Yeah, Libya is not good.
Notice the difference? Since the beginning of 2017, Italy has taken in 80,000 migrants coming from predominantly northern and western African nations. Despite the mainstream media's claims that these Fugazi refugees are coming from Syria, these migrants, as we all know it, are coming in from countries such as Libya, Eritrea, Nigeria, and as far east as Bangladesh.
This is like the Bangladesh section of the boat, yeah?
Yes, that's right, Bangladesh, because as we all know, there's a huge war happening there, and thousands of people are fleeing for their lives. Just this last week, over 10,000 migrants arrived in the ports of Sicily and Calabria in Italy, forcing Italy's Interior Minister Marco Minotti to consider shutting down the ports to any foreign ships.
That's carrying approximately 700 people on 2 different levels.
This comes as no surprise, considering that the EU, which is largely responsible for the migrant mess, has turned its back on Italy, advising the country to make the best of the migrant crisis and to use the migrants as a national and economic benefit.
For a successful migration policy, we don't just need bans. We need rules which allow us to use immigration as an opportunity, not just for ethical reasons, but quite simply also out of economic self-interest.
That's some very wishful thinking, considering the fact that the majority of migrants that enter Italy will continue to hog the borders into Western Europe, where they'll try to live off the social benefits of the Scandinavian and Western European nations.
This week, more than 400 migrants in Italy clashed with police at the French border, demanding to be allowed through.
Go France, no Italy.
The migrants that do choose to stay in Italy usually don't become doctors and lawyers, but rather beach merchants who try to push you into buying fake Rolexes and counterfeit Prada sunglasses. Where do you think I got these? In reality, the only people that truly profit from the migrant crisis are the NGOs and human traffickers who are perpetuating the migrant problem.
Rescue blankets, we need rescue blankets.
Every day, thousands and thousands of Libyan migrants pay thousands and thousands of euros to Libyan human traffickers to put them on shitty little dinghy boats, send them a few miles off the Libyan coastline, where they wait to be rescued by these so-called NGO charity boats.
Les enfants, yeah? For the children.
This year alone, some 2,160 migrants have died trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea from Libya into Europe. Surely enough, whenever there is death, there are crooked NGOs, human traffickers and human smugglers looking to exploit these tragedies by claiming that it is Europe's lawful duty to rescue any people drowning out at sea.
How is it possible that so close to the border of Europe, people are dying? We just came to the last minute. We knew there was boats, and no one comes to the rescue for them. We volunteers, we just a random boxman.
While the mainstream media has completely ignored the devastating situation in Italy, it has made sure to show us videos of migrant children crying and fake videos of refugees drowning in 2.5 feet of water. In recent days, Italy has turned to other member EU states such as Greece for help, realizing that the migrant crisis is reaching critical mass. Unfortunately, it's gotten no real help from its EU neighbors, who can only stand and watch as other member states such as Hungary and the Czech Republic continue to close their borders off to migrants. Since the EU struck a deal to halt the migrant influx coming in from Turkey last year, the Balkan route previously taken by migrants through Greece has withered down to a tiny trickle. This has in turn forced a large majority of migrants to enter Europe via the Mediterranean Sea, causing this large influx of over 80,000 migrants in Italy this year. As Italy continues to face mounting pressure from the EU during this very difficult situation, it will come as no surprise if the country resorts to desperate measures in an attempt to alleviate the current crisis. Closing off the ports to dozens and dozens of NGO ships and crooked human traffickers looking to profit off human life may in fact be the only way to save Italy and prevent an almost certain future human catastrophe.